guys, welcome back. MGM MarketAbilities podcast, episode something.
762,000.
I don't know.
63?
Yeah, 62, I think.
62,
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
It doesn't
No,
matter.
it doesn't. We're here again.
We're here to talk about marketing. We're here to
pumped.
talk about how we can add value to your marketing
To your life.
Your whole life. Yeah, sorry.
Your
Not just
whole
your marketing
life.
life.
To your whole life.
Yes.
Yeah. Riley was going to try to chew gum on the podcast.
Not a good idea.
And Angie caught that and saved literally everyone's ears.
Yes.
So you're welcome.
Right. Now it's sitting in that windowsill over there. I'm going to pretend like it's not there, just staring at me. Ugh. Ugh.
All right. So today we were shooting the Spiel TV show, which is on Fox and DBTV.
Yes.
Check it out.
The network.
And Angie thought it would be great if Walker came up with the topic today.
Yes.
So Walker, what do you
Young
got?
Walker Spalding.
I got like 15 minutes to prep for this. So me as a super marketing expert,
Right.
but also taking into account my love for music.
Yes.
I thought it would be kind of cool if we talked about how artists within the 80s and 90s would use bad publicity to get their music out there. The first one that came to mind for me was Alice Cooper. Whenever they were first starting off, because everyone thought they sucked. They were just really bad. And so they would genuinely get upset during these performances and just start throwing chairs, breaking things.
I didn't know that.
I didn't
know that
either.
either. That's crazy.
They went pretty ballistic, but that got into the press, and then everyone was like, well, I want to see a great freak out on stage. So everyone started seeing Alice Cooper, and eventually they were able to get their stuff together. But I don't know. I feel like you don't really see that super often nowadays. And
It's called security,
Yeah.
people, zero tolerance. But I get it. I know what you're talking about. And now we all know whose name? Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Immediately,
He's
you
there.
know?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, his image already pops right in my
Yeah.
head. It's hard not to think about it. It's whenever they tell you not to think about a pink elephant,
Right.
and you start thinking about pink
Right.
elephant. Whenever you say Alice Cooper, I'm like, I know exactly who that is.
Well, you see the eyes, the makeup, and it's weird because I think he likes to play golf, and to see him dressed in his little golf shirt, and it's like, man, that just doesn't fit. It really doesn't. Kind of like
Tease
seeing
off with
Kiss.
Tiger.
I don't know. Are they friends?
Who knows?
I mean,
They might
Tiger's
be.
shown his
Tiger-
rear end a few times too.
Only if
hasn't he?
Tiger dresses like a tiger, then they'll be weird together.
Imagine.
Look how fast we derailed your topic. Do you love that?
that's awesome.
No, but I wanted to jump off that, what you were saying. I think present day or in case you don't know who Alice Cooper is, Lady Gaga, with the meat dress. And everybody's like, what's happening? But everybody in the world knows about it now. And you guys rolled your eyes, but I believe Miley Cyrus markets herself that way. I don't feel like she's as cray-cray as she tries to portray at times.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, any artist that's implementing a dramatic scheme, if they have the music to back it up, people are going to listen and they're going to keep coming back.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's similar to, and I'm sorry I'm bringing it off topic a little bit, but to a serial killer, right? People are no, but girls they start to
like serial
go
What
crazy
is that?
over
I
it.
know.
You know what I mean?
That is weird.
But I think it's that type of thing. Is this person's a little crazy. I'm gonna go follow
right.
them.
I think I love them.
You know what I mean? It's it doesn't really make sense to me, but
I know.
it's like a car wreck, right? You just can't look away.
I guess.
You gotta take pictures.
Send it a love note.
I'm literally
right?
only thinking of terrible things right now.
It's
That's
weird.
really bad.
Yeah,
It's
but
really
we
bad,
also
huh?
talked about how, the platforms have changed and improved immensely, because you brought up a really cool thing about the old record stores back in the day. What would people do?
Well, they would take tapes in, tapes or CDs, and then just go and pop them into new cassette players
Yes.
or new CD players, and people would go and pick up a new CD player and come home oh my gosh, I already have a CD for this because someone put
That's
one
so
in here.
smart.
It's genius.
That is so smart.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. You can't get into someone's Spotify and create a playlist for them
Right.
and then
Yeah.
make them listen to it.
Right. But it is a lot easier to send it. Back in the day, you would hope that you would be seated next to somebody on an airplane or, out at a show, and you hope somebody comes to see you. But you always had that tape ready, in case you had that encounter. And you're like, man, could you give this a listen? And sometimes it'd probably sit on their shelves for months, years, but that's how you would have a big break.
Yeah.
Is somebody somewhere heard you.
You see a lot of kids come up to like big singers
Oh yeah.
nowadays. Just give them flash drives. Hey, take a listen to this.
Oh, they still do that?
Yeah.
With flash drive? Okay.
Yeah, they'll come up to them.
They
Be
don't
like,
say, let me
hey,
drop you a link or.
take a listen to my song. I'm working on an EP or whatever.
Huh.
Here's my flash drive. Or if the artist is real patient, the guy will usually play like a little snippet of their song.
Will they come home with them and just listen to them on their piano?
No, they'll listen to it right then and there.
Wow.
Nice.
Right then and
I
there.
like
Yeah,
it.
I've seen some of those performers like they're just performing on the street.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they'll just walk up to people and be like, "Hey, can I perform a song for you?" Like just like whoever's right there, and they'll be like, "Sure," and then they don't play their
That's
song, and they're like,
confidence.
"Wow, this is really good."
Yeah.
I love that.
Or I think one of them I saw, he was like, "If you hate this song, I'll give you $20."
Oh, yes, I know those guys.
And then he performs the song, and he's stupid good. He's really a really good singer, and so everybody's like, "Wow, that song was really good."
Yeah.
You have another.
Oh, I was just
Comment.
gonna say like, I feel like we're on like in a new. Obviously, we're in a new decade, but like we're at the almost end of the big break or the idea of the big break. I feel like everyone thinks about like, oh, like I'm gonna be having a gallery like with all my paintings and like some big art critic is gonna walk in, or Bobby Joe, big music producers like in the back like sipping a cocktail and he's listening to my group perform, and this is gonna be our big moment because he's gonna walk up to us and sign us immediately. Like that never happens anymore. I feel like
Wow. Now I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Maybe it does happen few and far between anymore. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, didn't the Renees just get?
Signed?
Yes.
Yeah, they just got signed.
They were on our show years ago. They were little itty bitty girls, and then they came on our show when we were here in the studio. But they signed with, it's Toby Mac's label.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I can't remember now.
Yeah, it's a cool
Blanking.
name.
Yeah.
But that, you hope that people are still watched, but I think you're right. There's something to just not the discovery anymore, but also appreciating how somebody promotes themselves and getting noticed that way.
Yeah, and it's just very saturated, right? Because there's like so many record labels
Mm-hmm.
now, and they're all like, a lot of them are very good quality and will do lots of good things for you. And so it's almost been like, getting signed is not always like the biggest thing, because it's like
Right.
people, you're seeing that every day now.
Yeah.
Whenever in reality, I think it is still a really big deal, because it's like you have this whole company or whatever behind you supplying, shows and merch and all that stuff. But I think we've almost been like desensitized by it.
Yeah.
Does that?
You
Yeah.
still
That
have
makes
to
sense?
work
Yeah.
it. You
Oh,
have to
yeah,
work
of
it
course.
if you're an artist, if you're a business, because many times I've heard those stories where they were signed, but it was an event, right? They were signed and then nothing really followed. And oftentimes you pay into that service that you may not be receiving.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
That's interesting.
there are a lot of artists disgruntled, not really happy with their agencies or agent or contract.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of artists, like the one that comes to mind is Switchfoot, where they literally just created enough albums to get out of their contract.
Really?
Yep. And so they've been independent for a while now.
I
But
didn't
yeah,
know
they I mean, what are they on, like 14 albums?
Yeah,
14
they've been
albums or
on-
something like that. And
Around for a long time.
they signed like an 8-album deal, or maybe it was a 10-album deal, and then so they just put out as much music as they possibly could, so they get out of it, and then now they're doing
Wow.
the things. And they're actually going on tour right now, and I want to go so bad because they're doing A Beautiful Letdown, the whole album from front to back, which was like that album that came out when I was like 13 or something.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Old band.
What else you got?
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't know. I guess that brings us back to like how if people aren't like going to bars like and or going to art galleries, how do you get noticed? Like the market's so oversaturated, and I keep thinking like gearing towards music specifically,
Right.
but like today anybody can be an artist.
Yeah.
But I think this kind of like goes back to what we were talking about a couple weeks ago, in that there's a difference between someone who has like a guitar and like a microphone and someone who has been given like thousands of dollars of equipment and has no proper training, but can like pluck a few strings, right? Like if that heart is there, then that will come out so much clearer than like any super top of the line clean quality recording.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
I think more and more of those people are being discovered. What is that called when you can, when you see somebody singing on her couch or whatever, and you're just blown away, and you do that double screen? There's a word for it. What do you call it when you're listening to them and you're just, anyway? You guys don't know what I'm talking about?
Maybe you're just explaining it.
Yeah, you on your channel, you can just play this person and you're sitting there responding to it.
A duet.
A duet.
It's on TikTok.
But they're just listening,
Right.
And that has really proven quite beneficial for people because it's, maybe she didn't know anybody was listening. I mean, she did, but in a way that changed her life, And I've seen that happen now several times with a lot of artists like that.
Yeah, so I think for me, like, there's two things that I think an artist can do right now in this decade, is number one, have like the best relationship you can possibly have with your fans, and like cultivate it, to where it's like whenever you post something on Instagram or whatever social media, they're sharing it almost every single time because you just have that relationship built up with your fans. And then second is get to know people in the industry. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone who's like the best, it doesn't have to be like Rick Rubin or whatever. Like, just get connected to people in the industry and keep those relationships healthy as well. And I mean, your name's going to get brought up if you are kind.
If you bug them, no, I'm kidding. If you're kind, yes.
But you get what I'm saying. Like having the right network, and then also like being loyal to your fans is 100%. Huge.
Yeah,
huge.
True. That's across the board with a customer base, with anything. Once you have that audience, you need to appreciate that audience, and you have to work that audience. Yeah. I mean, what's the takeaway? What do they get by being your fan? And I think people really appreciate that. You were asking about other ways to reach people. They say slide into their DMs or whatever. But when you see someone with millions of followers, you're like, oh, are they really going to see it?
Yeah.
I just think you have to take the chance and do it often. Don't just do it once and expect an outcome,
I think sliding in the DMs could work sometimes, but maybe doing like a duet or a remix of their own song.
Or waiting outside their house and like, till they come out and then sing.
I'm
sorry. That is not recommended. That would not be good.
You need to get really close to one of their best friends.
Yes.
Get one of their best friends to betray them.
Yes.
And then
betrayal is finest.
And then you need to tell them all about it, about what happened, and then you guys become best friends in the process.
Right. I don't know where that
Don't do that. That was really toxic.
That was really toxic. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I guess the takeaways from this podcast would be just you're always finding new ways, and you don't necessarily want to make a negative splash always to get attention. There was that old saying that any news is good news. Well, not necessarily, but I think there's a fun way to bring attention to yourself where no one's getting hurt and you're taking some chances.
Yeah.
Even if that's not your true persona, if it gets you noticed, check the box. I mean, it was effective.
Yeah, I think it depends on the type of person you are. But
right. Yeah. And the risk you're willing to take.
Right.
What are you willing to do to get noticed?
What are you willing to do?
I'd like to just be able to play my music
and
make my films, and if people enjoy them, then they'll share them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not trying to force anything. I genuinely believe that if the content is good enough, then it will find its way.
They will come. Yeah. Oh, I like that.
That's good.
Like speaking of good content, there's this guy I follow on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Are you okay?
I just took a deep breath.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
She's worried about what you're going to say.
I know.
I never know where it's going to go.
But speaking of good content, you know Will Colm.
Oh, yeah.
He's in Nashville, right? And he just goes up and plays random songs. Asks somebody, hey, what's your favorite song?
It's always an attractive girl.
It's always like a really
a hot
good-looking girl.
Yeah. Okay.
But he just like blows them away, and it's really good content. And like, I go back every time because it's so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to listen to that, right?
And he can play anything, so.
Mm-hmm. And that's organic growth. I mean, when people see it and then the next person sees it, and the fact that they all keep coming back because, you're really, really good. So.
Yeah, I think that's the best way, because it's like you're cultivating a relationship with them without you even like knowing that, you know what I mean? Because they're starting to connect with you because they're just continuously watching you and they feel like they're getting to know you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I thought about this, because I've seen her do a really good job of late promoting her tour. Carrie Underwood, she thanks every city that she attends and visits. And man, she's like pulling out all the stops with the costumes. And, so for whatever reason you like her, whether it's her blingy costumes or her husband, her children, the music, she's just giving you a little bit of all of it so people will connect on some level.
Right.
And it's been effective.
Yeah.
It
works.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at you hosting, producing, and delegating all responsibilities and topics. And
I'm trying, Angie.
yeah, and it's just paying off.
I'm trying.
Look at that. See, when you just give out good stuff, it just works, and people keep coming
works.
back for it. Yeah.
So come back to this episode and watch it again.
Yeah. This episode?
Or
Same
more.
More. Yeah, just
True.
stay and just binge,
Binge
listen.
watch the whole playlist.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I think we're
good. Yeah.
we're at our time.
Yeah.
So, hey, thanks for joining us. Thank you, Walker Spalding.
Thank you,
Best
Angie.
name.
For the I love
Fantastic.
that name.
I hate my name now.
I know. I just don't even want to sign on. It's like Walker Spalding and gang, right? All right. Find us and we'll see you next time.
Bye.